That would be hilarious and I would hate it so much. Wait, I've been saying Ifrit, but it's Phoenix, right? In the demo, Phoenix, Garuda, and Titan. Oops, sorry. Hello everyone. Greetings to all Gaos, both Zetsu and Nyan. It's me, the princess. I'm back. It seems like the Blue Rose was doing quite a bit of stuff on the channel, but you don't have anything to worry about now. It's still a little rough here in the Gao Kingdom, but really it's no trouble. I will get to the bottom of everything and put everything back in its rightful place. Alright? I did like her idea about doing a weekly podcast, so I decided to continue it myself. As the princess, of course. Instead of, what was it? Teatime with the Blue Rose or whatever. Yeah, so I'm back. Hi. Oh, I don't even know what to say. It feels so weird. Feels so weird to talk to all of you again. So I'm a little bit awkward. I'm sorry. But yeah, I do have some topics for this week. I can't really explain everything that's been happening regarding the Gao Kingdom right now, but I hope that you'll trust me to handle things the way they should be handled. Without further ado, though, let's get into our first topic. So, I'm sure you have all seen the Persona 3 remake, Persona 3 Reloaded. It is super exciting! I love Persona 3. It's my favorite story of the Persona games I've played, which is 3, 4, and 5. But it's not my favorite gameplay-wise, so I am very happy to see that it's going to get some love, and it will have quality of life updates and match the gameplay quality of the other Persona games. Not just in, you know, how the characters play, but also in how the dungeons are designed. Persona 3 is fine, but it definitely you can definitely feel the passage of time if you go back to it. But it's a very monkey's paw type of situation. It's like, yay, we got Persona 3 remake. That's awesome. Such an amazing RPG story coming back with beautiful graphics. Wow, it's like a dream come true, but it doesn't have any of the extra stuff from Fez or Persona 3 Portable. There is no female MC. They got rid of Hamiko, which, oh, sorry, if you don't know, Hamiko is kind of a fan, Japanese fan nickname for the female pro tag, but I'm pretty sure people in the West use it too. At least I know people who do and stuff. But yes, I will be referring to her as Hamiko, but Hamiko is she is not in the game despite being a protagonist of Persona 3, and the Fez content like the answer will also not be in the remake, which just doesn't make any sense to me. So despite how excited I am for the remake, I don't think I'll be buying it on release. I can't really justify it to myself just yet. I don't know if they're gonna do like DLC or a complete edition. If they do a complete edition or a DLC, I'll buy that. Or I'll buy the game if a DLC comes out. I don't think they're gonna do a complete edition. It just doesn't make any sense. So I feel like if they do anything, it has to be DLC. And even then, I'm not really hopeful that they're gonna do that. But it really is such a shame that the that the remake is not like the definitive version to play, because you still have to play Persona 3 Portable to play the female main character route, or you have to play Fez to play the answer. So if you don't know why this is kind of a big deal, is because let's start with Fez. So Persona 3 came out as Persona 3, and then they did kind of an updated version called Persona 3 Fez, F-E-S, Fez. I am saying Fez, Fez. Persona 3 Fez, and it included some extra story, which was called The Answer, and it also included, I think it included extra cutscenes or extra little story details in the main game, if I'm not mistaken, and it included some tweaks to the gameplay, but I don't exactly know the difference. I played Fez, so I don't have any experience with the original Persona 3 and how different it was, but so The Answer is an epilogue to P3's story, and personally I love The Answer story so much. It's so beautiful. I think it really adds a lot to the game. The gameplay for the DLC, or sorry, not the DLC, for the extra story content for The Answer was not very well received, and I know people don't really like The Answer because of those reasons, but I don't personally care about that right now. I really like the story, and I'm willing to play through it for the story. And it would be so awesome to get The Answer in the remake, because they could very easily address all of these minor issues. I won't say minor issues. They could address all these issues that people have with The Answer. It kind of make like a very beautiful epilogue to the game. So it's so sad that that's not included with Reload, with the remake. And then you have Hamiko. So after Fez, they made Persona 3 Portable for PSP, right? Not Vita. There's no way it was Vita. It was PSP. It has to be PSP. Anyways, P3P came out for whatever Sony handheld was out at the time. I can't remember anything right now. And they added a female protagonist, and she has her own route. So there are actual real very, very big story changes between the male and female route, and the male route is considered canon and the female route is not canon. But it's still a very cool way to experience the story. You have a lot more story events that aren't present in the male route. So P3P included both the male and female, and the male is basically Fez, if I remember correctly. And then the female had all this extra stuff, new tracks, new events, new story, new links, question mark? Yeah, it did have new links, right? And of course, they made the guys romanceable, so you have all those like new story tidbits and stuff. And of course, if you want to make the definitive version of Persona 3, you should include Hamiko. Otherwise, your game is just half-baked, half incomplete, or not half-baked. That's probably not the best way. It's just incomplete. It's not complete. It's not a complete story. You need both sides. You need Hamiko, and you need the male protagonist as well. So it's so frustrating seeing Reload be like this. Oh, and also Hamiko's route had improved gameplay because Persona 4 had come out, so they updated the gameplay to fit Persona 4 more, or like the quality level of Persona 4, and that means that Hamiko had the better gameplay and the better, or not better, but more content in the story, extra story content. So the male route was kind of left in the dust. So it's like, wow, the male protagonist finally has the male protagonist finally has a complete route, a complete story. There's no problems, or I don't know if it would be, but basically the male route will get the TLC it deserves to match or surpass the female route in terms of like quality and overall quality. And you know what's crazy is that they said there won't be Fez stuff or P3P stuff, but they confirmed that Aigis is going to have her social link. So apparently, and I didn't know this, but her social link was a Fez thing. So you're including Fez stuff. Except not the answer, or anything else, maybe? I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't really understand Atlas's logic right now. I have no idea what they're gonna do. It would be super hilarious if they did like a Pokemon and they released like Persona 3 Reload blue gender and Persona 3 Reload pink gender versions. Two versions. Pick your main character. What color are you? Are you a pink person or a blue person? That would be hilarious and I would hate it so much, but I don't know if I would hate it. I would have to see how thorough they would be with that, if it was really that big of a change between Hamiko and the male pro tag. But that is like #1 cursed behavior, I feel, right now. But yeah, I don't really understand what they're thinking, and honestly, Atlas and Persona's lack of female main characters is just crazy to me. I feel like their games, because they handle so many like social themes and like the life experiences of people, it would be so interesting to see all of the themes viewed through like a girl, right? So you have Persona 5 and you see you see the first minute of the game and you're already like, wow, this would be kind of crazy if it was like a girl dealing with this situation. So yeah, I don't really want to talk about it too much because I feel like that's a whole other black hole of conversation you could have. There's so much to talk about, but I just feel like it's wasted potential. And I still like P5 and P4 and stuff, but I feel like it's just wasted potential. And then P3, they hate addressing the Hamiko, the female pro tag. And I know P3 has a female pro tag, but it's not like I ever see anything about her. I don't know anything about P1 or P2. So I don't. Yeah, step it up. If P6 doesn't have a female pro tag, that will be kind of crazy to me. I will not understand their reasoning. I will not understand if they even give any, but if they don't give any, I have to fill in the blanks, and I just don't understand right now. I don't understand what's holding you guys back. But, or even any other kind of, like, main character, anyone dealing with any kind of issues that the current pro tag lineup wouldn't address or wouldn't be able to address for whatever reason. I don't know. It's a whole big question mark for me. So yeah, I am super excited for P3 remake, but I won't be buying it on release, and it sucks. Feels bad. It feels so bad. The game looks so awesome. The trailers look awesome, and I love the gameplay of the Persona games, so I would love to play a nice turn-based RPG, but alas, I cannot. Or I choose not to. Ugh. Well, anywho, I have more topics aside from Reload, but that sent me off on quite a tangent because I've been thinking about it nonstop. And anyways, this week, speaking of turn-based RPGs, Final Fantasy 16 is not a turn-based RPG, but as I played as you saw earlier this week, I played the game. I mean, the Blue Rose played the game, but I also on the channel, but I also played the game myself, and the gameplay is so good. I love it so much. It's so good. I think that Final Fantasy has been trying to appeal to like a broader mass market, I feel, and you can see it in FF13 and FF15 with their kind of really sleek, futuristic approaches. Like in 13, you go to Hope's dad's apartment, and it's just like a regular living room. regular dude's living room, and then FF15 is just real life, but they have chocobos in there sometimes. And airships, I guess. Wait, but their airships. Wait, I said that, but their airships just look like military equipment or military vehicles. So whatever. Um, and people can teleport around by throwing swords. But visually, if you look at trailers, the locations look very like normal and average. And FF13's kind of magical futurism feels very approachable, I feel. So I feel like they've been trying to appeal to like a broader mainstream instead of making like a really high fantasy quote unquote the quote unquote nerdy looking game, like having a bunch of crazy armor, having a bunch of colorful weird fantasy clothes. I feel like they've been moving away from that for the past two games a little in their own ways. And and FF16, I feel, still tries to capture this kind of wider audience. Like, hey, don't be scared. We're not some super weird looking fantasy game that that you won't understand and doesn't make any sense and features weird cats that don't look anything like cats and giant birds that you ride on. I feel like they are trying to approach that in a different way, and in a way that right now I kind of like a little bit more, because you play the 16 demo and you look at stuff. I think they are pushing the fantasy aspect, like a high fantasy aspect, a lot more. Like, the locations look very like medieval, and you have a lot of more visible magic. You have a guy getting water poured out of a crystal into his cup, right? You have people using their spells to light up candles just because that's what they do. And you have this really big focus on politics, like complex international, not international, that's not the word, intranation. A lot of like complex world building with the politics in different countries and nations and stuff, and a lot of focus on these themes that I feel would normally be shied away from studios trying to appeal to a wider audience. And I feel like 16 is doing something interesting, and maybe I only think this because FF13 and FF15 were the way they were, but I am certainly refreshed. I can't remember the last time a mainline Final Fantasy, aside from 14, had characters using magic in their like daily lives. It's just like a thing that they do because that's how their world works. I can't really remember the last one that did that. I guess maybe 13-2. I didn't play Lightning Returns. And of course 15 has that, but we're not 15, sorry, 14. But yeah, I don't exactly remember. I feel like it wasn't if there was stuff in the first 13, I can't exactly remember. It's been a long time since I played it, but anyways, I don't know. I really like the presentation. I know they're going for like a very grim, dark fantasy stuff. And, there's that quote going around that they were all forced at gunpoint to watch the entirety of Game of Thrones. But, I think I think it's fine to be inspired by this stuff right now, because the demo didn't disappoint me, and I trust Yoshi P to not write something totally heinous and weird. And I'm sure they didn't just watch Game of Thrones. You have like Berserk, you have like Vinland Saga, you have all of the, you even have like The Witcher. Like The Witcher is so big in Japan. There's so many RPG action games that are inspired by The Witcher in Japan. It's such a big game in terms of video game history and stuff. So I feel like they've definitely taken a lot of inspiration from different games. So I'm not too worried, and different media that isn't just Game of Thrones. So I'm not too worried right now. I think it's refreshing personally right now. And yeah, I think it looks super cool, and the gameplay is so fun. It's so fun. Oh, I do want to say I don't have anything against 13 and 15 in terms of like their visuals or what they're trying to do. But I just wanted to point out like the differences that I have kind of been thinking about. I don't have a script for this podcast, so my thoughts are a little bit rambly. I'm sorry if I'm not making sense. But I've been thinking about this topic a lot. So I just really enjoyed the 16 demo, and the gameplay is so fun. The gameplay is so fun. I know it's okay. Everyone's like it's DMC or whatever. But I personally I do think it's inspired by DMC. Obviously, they've said as much, but I don't think it's inspired by DMC the way people think that it is. So DMC, you have a lot of like air mobility, especially in later titles. You have a lot of air mobility. Your jumps are super high, and you have a lot of movement available to you. Your combos are very long, and they're usually not tied to long timers or like resources like that. You can kind of just access most of your tools almost all of the time, I feel. But FF16 is not like that. I feel like this game is more like Bayonetta and other platinum action games than strictly DMC. I think they took a lot of like the visual satisfaction of your combos into like consideration. Like in DMC, it looks so good. Like, and I mean, how to explain this? It looks good, but I don't mean like just aesthetically. It's more so like when you visually see Dante swing his sword, when you press a button, it feels a certain way that not every action game can replicate. It feels like it has weight, but that you're also very maneuverable and light. So Clive feels very fast and maneuverable, and it tricks you into feeling like you have all of this movement. But when you, at least in the demo with our limited tools, when you really look at it, it's like how do I say this? He's very grounded. He's not really mobile in the air. So his jump is super wimpy, first of all, which is not a DMC jump. It's very wimpy, and a lot of his air movement is tied to like iconic skills, at least, seeing from the demo. A lot of his air movement and air abilities and air combos seem to be tied to the icons and also to Torgal. So Clive doesn't really have a launcher. He has launchers for like ground to air launcher. He has them through the iconic abilities, and you can use Burning Blade, and you can use Torgal. Burning Blade has a startup because you have to charge it. And when you master it, it's not too bad. But when you don't master it, like just your base Burning Blade, it's a little bit slow. And even when you do master it, it is not as fast as DMC. Which it works obviously for FF16. I loved it, but I just find the people I see saying like, oh, this is just DMC again, doesn't doesn't paint the full picture. I think if you go into this game being like, I'm gonna play DMC5 but with a Final Fantasy skin on it, you'll be very confused and you will not have a good time, because you will find a lot of things that you want to do with this expectation in mind will just not really be possible. Or they will actually even be suboptimal to do in a lot of situations. So yeah, I think it's very interesting to see how they've decided to make an action game. It's very different from FF15. I have to say, I didn't experiment with the gameplay in FF15 too much, so I didn't really understand its systems. But from what I did play, I feel like it's pretty different in terms of like its action-based systems. And I know, like, for what was it, Ifrit's dash that you have, that one, people calling it the Noctis teleport, and it really is not the Noctis teleport. You just teleport. You just teleport, but it's not, it doesn't, I feel like the Noctis teleport was so crucial to Noctis as a character. The Noctis teleport, I might regret saying this, but I would say it has more in common with Kingdom Hearts' like air dashes, than it does with Ifrit's dash that you have. At least this is my preliminary thoughts on it. Like, I could be totally wrong when I play the game more thoroughly, but yeah, it's really interesting. I really love the gameplay so far. It's great. I'm excited to see how it develops and how it feels when you're actually playing the full game. And also the devs said they were really inspired by FF5, and I agree. I think you can customize Clive's loadout to your preferred playstyle. It's very limited in the demo, obviously, but from what I got in the demo, it felt like that's what you could do. And there's a lot more icons to unlock, right? But you can only have 3, if I'm not mistaken. You can only equip 3 icons. So it'll be really interesting to see, like this is me spitballing. From the demo, I imagine Shiva will let you throw ice, for example. And if you're like a ranged player, like you love using range, then you might want to load Shiva and have like Ifrit and Garuda, so that you can kind of be able to move in and out really fast, and also with Shiva kind of like shoot icicles or something like that, right? So that's a different playstyle than someone who wants to focus on... Wait, I've been saying Ifrit, but it's Phoenix, right? In the demo, Phoenix, Garuda, and Titan. Oops, sorry. The Phoenix dash and the Phoenix iconic skills. Sorry. But I hope you were all replacing me saying Ifrit with Phoenix in your heads. Thank you. But you know, as I was saying, I feel like you can really customize Clive, and I can't wait to see like all the different icons and how they'll influence your game plan. It'll be really cool. I'm super excited. I think it's really cute. How do I say this? What was I gonna say? I think it's really cute that... Oh my god. I forgot what I was gonna say. I think... Oh my god. What was it? Oh no. Dementia is setting in. Oh man. I was thinking that all the icons remind me of like old Final Fantasy games in okay. So I was thinking, this might be a bit of just my biased brain. I don't know how much this comparison really works, but I think it's really cute that Clive has icons that he kind of uses to fight and stuff, because it reminds me of Yuna from FF10. Of course it's not the same, but having a character utilize different icons over and over as like a core part of a character defining gameplay element, I don't know, makes me think a lot about Yuna, so I really like that. I really like that. And also because I think I was also thinking this because, they were like, the Phoenix's blessing. You've been blessed by the Phoenix. They were saying a lot of stuff like that, so I kept thinking about like Yuna having to like convince the icons to support her as a summoner. It's very cute. I like that. Yeah. And I have an announcement. So, with the release of the game being this week, I wanted to make like a little a little tournament for I should say tournament, like a little competition for the Discord. So you can submit your stagger combos, your overall score with like a video, or just a screenshot, but a video would be best. And whoever in the Discord has the highest damage combo, stagger combo, so you break their will and they fall to their knees and you can like wail on them, and then it shows you your overall score at the end when they gain their will back. But whoever gets the most damage will get a special role in the Discord, Eikonic. So Eikonic challenge, you'll just have a special role called Eikonic on Discord, so everyone can know how iconic you really are. So yeah, I'll make a tweet and an announcement on the Discord, so that everyone is clear on the rules. But if you can play the demo, please try it out. Submit the Eikonic. This is our own Eikonic challenge, so submit your Eikonic submissions and have a chance to win a role. I will open it until Thursday, and I and I do feel bad that not everyone can participate because it requires a PS5. So I want to say that if you can Photoshop a convincing enough screenshot, if you can Photoshop a convincing enough screenshot, and I'll run it through hard tests, okay? You have until Thursday. If you can Photoshop a convincing enough screenshot, I will give you the false icon title. So you can have your own special role as well. I wanted to allow everyone to participate. And yeah, I can review your submissions later after it's over, like on Friday or probably for the next podcast. That'll be fun. I hope you guys think it's fun. Yeah, so I wanted to do that, and I have a couple of like miscellaneous topics. Not too in-depth, but I've been playing Vanguard recently, so I'm very excited. I've been having so much fun. My deck is super janky because it's so expensive. It's so expensive to buy Vanguard right now. It's cheaper than it was like even last month, but it's still pretty expensive. So I guess it's okay. It feels more expensive because Vanguard was pretty cheap for a very, very, very long time. It's always been pretty cheap compared to like Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic or even Pokemon ? I really don't know much about Pokemon, but At least Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic Vanguard was much cheaper. And right now, it's not at those levels, but it is pretty expensive. So I haven't been able to like purchase all the cards that I would need to make like a really solid deck. But I have a deck, and it is legal. As in, I have my 16 triggers. But yeah, I've been playing Thigrea, the Sword of Justice. She's super fun. I really like the deck and the theming. Thigrea is super cute, and yeah, I hope I can do something like with Vanguard. It would be super awesome to, I don't know, talk about Vanguard, do anything. Yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated, or if you want to talk about Vanguard in the Discord, please feel free. And there's been more One Kagayatsu no Kisetsu announcements, so they just finished announcing all of the voice actresses for the main heroines. But I was wondering if you guys would like a video on that. Like, would you like to see me go through like all the major One Kagayaku no Kisetsu announcements, and kind of giving you a rundown of like the pre-order bonuses and like where you can buy it, because although the overseas you'll only have digital, I'm pretty sure they haven't announced a physical for NA or PAL regions, I think. But the JP physical does have English on it. So it would actually be, if you wanted to have a physical of a really cool game, it would be convenient, yeah, for you. You can choose language options. So that's really cool. So like, you know, stuff like that. If you guys would be interested in hearing a video about kind of covering a bunch of One news, yeah, let me know in the comments. Like, I don't know, say I love One, and also tell me if you play Vanguard, or if you've ever touched Vanguard, what clan or nation do you play? I used to play Angel Feather before Overdress, and then when Overdress came out, when D Standard started, I played Orphist, which I really want to play again, but I sold all my English cards when I moved. So I have to build Orphist again, and before that I saw Thigrea and I wanted to build Thigrea. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you played, or if you played any other TCG. You can also let me know your preferred archetype or decks or whatever. Yeah, that'd be fun. And again, let me know about the One video. If you guys seem interested, I'll definitely do my best to get it out soon. I really want to do longer form videos. Just, you know, remember when the princess, when I did the Teach Me Miss Heening streams, I think that sounds really interesting, and it sounds really interesting to do again for YouTube in a more organized format, I guess. It would be super fun. And yeah, I want to try doing that. I want to try doing longer videos. The issue is editing. Editing is always an issue, but I'm willing to try. I hope you all don't mind very low quality editing. Yeah. So yeah, let me know. Okay. I'm really happy to be back. I'm happy to see all of you again. So yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you all very soon. Hopefully we can meet again in the Gal Kingdom. Alright, see you all soon. Bye. Have a great week. How do I say this? What was I gonna say? I think it's really cute that... Oh my god. I forgot what I was gonna say! I think... Oh my god, what was... Oh no. Dementia is setting in.